No, I want the backdrop.
Holy shit.
No. Yeah, intent.
Oh, man, that's so sad. What is happening there, fellow citizen of the Reject Nation? We're about to embark on an odyssey. A 2001, a Space Odyssey, a genuine, real first-time watch for a movie Coy and I have never heard about until today. I almost watched it when they re-released it in IMAX, but unfortunately wasn't able to attend. I believe a big trailer had come out that day.
Ah, yes. The cost.
The cost of missing such an event. But now I get to experience it for the first time with you, a movie I know practically nothing about.
We were talking before, and we only know that it is loose in its form, but also it is so atmospherically impactful. Like, I know of references of it, but I couldn't tell you what the plot is.
Yeah. I hear it's slow, so I've prepared my brain.
Okay. I know it's Kubrick.
Took 5 edibles.
Right.
So I am just
Atmosphere.
chill right now. But are you looking forward to it?
I am. I'm a little concerned at my own lack of attention span for a 1968 film. I'm a little worried about the editing style and all the things I know of my own, energy and nature. But I know it's impactful to filmmakers I admire, so I'm looking forward to seeing the references and, the DNA of movies I love. I just hope I'm not too dumb to appreciate it.
That is the fear, right?
Dumb.
Oh man, am I going to have to be super smart today, or can I just embrace, maybe I don't know what's happening right now, but it looks cool?
And will I get mad if I feel dumb?
Yeah. I think we just be honest with ourselves and honest with you guys and let you in on the honest experience that we are having, whatever the spectrum is, from positive to negative to, wow, we really get it, to, I have no idea what's happening. Let's embark on this quest together.
This odyssey.
This odyssey, yes, that is the proper choice of words. All right, Coy, you ready to finally see what the hell's going on?
Yep, it's a classic. Let's find out if it holds up.
Let's do it.
Tones.
It's a G movie.
I haven't seen a G-rated movie on this channel in quite a while.
It's actually G.
No guidance whatsoever
Some spooky music.
for a G.
This is meant to be seen with lights on and a camera pointing.
Oh,
at
I
us.
think that's what Kubrick always dreamed.
Do we
Beautiful
see something?
sound design. I can't tell if I'm Rorschaching myself or if the screen is
Yeah,
changing. It's definitely getting lighter.
Is it?
The edges.
You're right. I feel like a child in a womb right now.
This must be like a psychedelic experience for people when they do. Like, this
Yeah.
seems like it goes with hallucination well.
Yeah, we should have microdosed.
We should have, because this feels Dark Side of the Moony without it. I don't know if it got lighter. Now I doubt myself. I will say, of all my reactions, weirdest start to one. Weirdest start to one.
This is a bold choice for
I don't know what to believe, Craig.
Wow.
That was before the production company logo.
Whoa. That is wild.
That was a crazy experience. I've also never seen that MGM logo.
Is it because, creation, it was just darkness first? Is that
I think
the
so.
idea?
I think that's what I experienced.
I'm just going to throw out some guesses that sound occasionally smart.
Yes, I've heard this before.
Me too. Wow, that is gorgeous. I heard this was mainly done with practical effects.
That's incredible. In the 60s?
I could see why they re-released this on IMAX.
Yeah, this must have been an experience. The only Oscar for Kubrick. Isn't this the movie where people thought he faked the moon landing? Like that he was the one that did the footage because of this movie?
Might be.
I
That
see.
would line up.
Yeah.
Wow, it's already making me feel so small in this universe.
Yeah, this is a very powerful opening.
Earth. The Barbie movie.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going to be one of those things where the references definitely make me think of them instead of the movie.
The Dawn of Man.
God, that's gorgeous.
Don't do the Lion King. Don't do the Lion King song.
Have you seen Tree of Life?
No.
I wonder if this is going to remind me of that. That's a fascinating look at humanity.
Wow, it's almost documentary-like.
So far, I'm wondering when it starts to feel more narrative-based. Or if it does. Maybe the whole thing feels very Esoterically driven.
We do get the benefit of watching it with headphones on.
It is definitely an experience in here.
You can hear the earth.
I'd like to go back to 68 and experience the patience people had then. Like, just the atmosphere of the world was just such a different pace to it.
Creepy.
Yeah, and like vaguely Neanderthal skull. I like that the animals look prehistoric, but obviously they had to exist in 68. Like, I know those creatures, but they look of a time.
It's doing this really interesting thing of having you feel the universe and how big it is and how tiny life is. Like how small we are.
Just from those two soundless, or not soundless, wordless sequences.
Whoa. Whoa.
PETA.
Human actors. Whoa. What the hell just hit? Wow. I mean, they would have had to have a real animal go.
Yeah, that stunt is crazy.
That's a terrifying stunt.
Can you just put on this gorilla suit and get attacked by this leopard real quick?
There is a very unique feeling to this.
It's almost like a dread. There's like an ominousness.
Really, I'm feeling like a meditative.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Coy.
I always feel dread and ominousness. It's just my standard operating procedure.
This is what happens when real rejects see Cinepals.
Get away!
We're going to upload our video first.
Thumbnail! Thumbnail!
No, you copied our thumbnail. You copied our thumbnail.
SEO! This is every IMAX screening. Us all trying to shoot in the lobby. How is this meditative? A leopard just attacked one another. We have very different meditations.
I just feel like we're like in this weird.
It's so hostile.
We're in this weird life experience. I know we're supposed to get a human being at some point that he's on the cover. So
yeah,
we're going to like the creation of man and seeing how man is in their most like primal way. Like here's who we are underneath. So it's going for the universe, the start of man, but here's who we really are. And then we're going to watch like an evolution, I'm assuming. I have acceptance, Coy.
I like that. I like it. It's
you
healthy.
have acceptance.
No,
you need like, more acceptance in
No,
your
man,
life.
I'm staying vigilantly afraid of
You're
mortality.
too- yeah.
I know it's all ending, Greg. I stay on edge.
This movie's making me realize like life is short.
And I'm like, how do I fight death?
We are a speck in this timeline.
White knuckle my existence.
We are that Jim Carrey Golden Globe speech
Oh,
or whatever
God.
he said.
The lighting on this leopard's incredible.
It's beautiful. I know those eyes.
I was also super impressed by the gorilla's animatronic like mouthpieces. Like that was really cool for 20 years before I was born.
How did they advertise this movie?
I'm just wondering what it's like to watch people watch this movie. Like, such a different experience to watch something like this. We've never watched anything that felt like a Richard Attenborough nature documentary.
Look how incredible that makeup is.
Yeah. It's
Holy shit. But I don't believe in evolution. Where's Adam and Eve? They got to go walking by at some point.
Rib. All right, cool. It's two of us. Whatever. The human eyes is so interesting because it's like just disconcerting enough, but they look real enough.
Don't we evolve from them?
Yeah, but like gorillas have a different eye. Like,
What just happened? What is this?
oh, this is immediately last documentary.
What the hell's going on?
The dawn of man involved aliens.
Bold choice, Kubrick.
It's like the interstellar robot.
I mean, Nolan said this was one of the most inspirational films.
This, I mean, that looks like the thing
Nolan
about
and James Cameron have heavily referenced this.
Yeah, this movie would freak me the fuck out on drugs, man.
I don't know what we're watching, but
I'm happy.
genuinely reeled in right now.
Yeah, I'm so
I've
in.
never seen anything like this.
I feel like we're.
I feel like I
being watched.
microdosed, but I did.
Yeah.
I literally haven't taken anything today.
I feel like we're in a science experiment where people are watching us watch a video. Like, I feel very like. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa, it's like an eclipse. so jarring.
This movie feels like an experimental album. It's like a visual version of Tool or Pink Floyd or...
Definitely. Pink Floyd was the vibes I was getting at the very opening with just the black. All right. What'd they do with that giant rectangle?
Did it leave? I think it just left.
Was it a dream?
Is he remembering it? It looks like memory. Having the context for the sound is so interesting because it's not what I would have expected.
I guess this music cue is a sign of the dawn of something, the next stage, the next step.
It feels ascendant. Is this like creation of tools?
Yeah.
Like using an item for a purpose?
It must be. Yeah.
Yeah! Intent!
He's discovered tools.
Smart to use the ribs so the things launch so it's visually stimulating. Oh, and now we kill animals with them?
Hunting. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, look, this breaks. Oh, look, animal.
Like, human beings are incredibly reliant on the tools we create, and watching the creation of, like, the first tool and everything that will evolve.
Yeah, starting from a simple battering.
All right, if we sound smart for like 10 more minutes, I think we're good.
That's enough watch time.
We hit our quota.
And then for 2 hours, we can drool and stare.
When are they going to space?
Have they done it? What a bold movie to make.
I think they should remake this with Michael Bay's direction.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, that's so sad. They were like totally kicking it with those
They were harmonious, and now...
Oh, man, that's so sad.
The cost of intelligence. Yeah, they ain't friends no mo.
We were one with Earth.
But protein and the way to get your brain to grow.
This is when human beings were no longer part of the animal kingdom. They thought they were better then.
And this is the hostility that came from it.
Is this the same camp, or is this the rival camp? I can't tell the difference. I mean, the water was a separation from them.
Yeah, I think it's still both camps. But now one camp has tools. The other camp is just damn dirty apes.
Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad.
Yep. And wars begin.
Oh, no.
The first murder. Or at least the first murder with tools.
Oh, this is so sad. Oh, that gives me an ugly feeling.
Yeah, we've seen the first murder.
Are we cutting to a different time?
Yeah.
Oh, a very different time.
Storyboarding, that must have been a trip. Like, ape throws up bone. Cut to space.
Wow, that is gorgeous. Holy moly. Inevitably, this will get another re-release. It's one of those movies that plays all the time at like classic theaters and shit.
I think it plays at planetariums.
This movie?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Because that's how I'd want to see it, in like a dome.
Yeah, I think I'm already selling myself that I should watch this again.
Yeah, I think this is definitely worth experiencing in the proper format. The whimsy of futurism.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
A few thousand years.
I don't know what the first tool truly was, but it's pretty crazy.
A lever.
Now we have like artificial intelligence tools. Man is his own worst enemy, and tools are created by man.
And will tools take over what man started with tools?
Do we give sentientness to tools?
I think we have.
Yeah, it's already begun.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of an inevitability from where we are. That is beautiful. Wow.
Is he flying, taking flight in? Okay, so this is like a futuristic thing now. This is not. I thought this was still like a real thing.
Well, I feel like this is it set in 2001? Like it from 1968
Oh, that
thought
makes
2001 movie?
makes a lot of sense.
I assume.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because he's on a Space Odyssey.
Yes. I never even really questioned what the title was.
I'm just inferring.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
It looks like he's on a flight in space.
This is what Elon Musk always dreamed of right here.
Yeah. We're 24 years late.
That's right. It said Pan Am on it.
Yeah.
Oh, right there, Pan Am grip shoes. That's fun.
That clearly didn't work out. Pan Am's gone, but maybe we bring it back. It's crazy the biggest airline that's always referenced as futuristic is no longer with us. Never drawn to classical music day to day, but whenever I hear it in a movie, I'm like, yeah, I should listen to more art. And then I don't.
It's the classical music that's accompanying the visuals.
Yeah, by itself, it doesn't tickle me the same way, but this way it does. I wonder how this movie would feel with, like, jazz.
IBM technology.
This would be a fun movie to experiment with editing with because it's so abstract.
Yeah, we could probably cut out like half of the runtime. We're behind.
So behind. I love that they're synced up and the gravity is because of the spinning, like the slight detail there of showing them on each side of that to show the universality of it. It's cool.
Wow, it doesn't look like miniatures. It actually feels massive.
It's super impressive. And then to show the shot from POV of them being synced up, like the human vision is they're the same. That's so cool.
This is what Matthew McConaughey had to do in Interstellar, but cooler.
Yeah, speedier.
Here are sir, main level, please.
It's that retro future, but with a hauntingness to accompany it.
There's like a tension in it. Oh, they're talking. I didn't even realize these are our first lines of dialogue.
I think Mr. Miller of Station Security is supposed to be meeting me. Would you please? Oh, here he is.
Look at that background, still in orbit.
Those space suits, but not space suits.
Is this like the rest of the movie?
It's hanging out Space Odyssey.
Welcome to voice print identification. When you see the red light go on, please state your destination, your nationality, and your full name, Christian name, and initial.
What a cool way to
Christian name.
establish the banality of it.
Haywood R.
Thank you. You are cleared through voice print identification.
Hilton Space Station 5. It's our industrial hotel travel service is all up in space right now.
I love how branded it is, but in a way that feels plausible. He definitely predicted the whites and grays taking over, like the banality of color as well.
I'm gonna make a couple of phone calls. You go on ahead in the restaurant. I'll meet you there.
Right.
So it's like airport lounge in a way.
Which makes sense. Like, it is a logical progression. I would get so dizzy in a gravity-driven space station.
Hello.
Murph.
What are you doing?
Pain.
Where's Mummy?
Gone to shopping.
Did you say pain?
Playing.
Play?
Pain.
Are you coming to my party tomorrow?
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I can't. I'm gonna send you a very nice present, though.
All right.
She's a very real little girl.
Yeah.
A telephone.
We got lots of telephones already.
I love how in 68, having a bunch of phones probably was like crazy. Like, that's a cool way to show the future.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Happy birthday.
170.
I also love the idea of like video calling must have felt surreal, and now that is day to day. Like, this is that part of this is totally normal, but wouldn't have been
Yeah,
in
it's,
68.
Like they had this science fiction of Star Trek back then where you could communicate through like FaceTiming, but they actually grounded in something that felt a lot more plausible and realistic.
How do you do?
Dr. Stretnever, and this is Dr. Andrei Smyslov.
Oh, how do you do?
We're working with foreigners. Huh?
Yeah, is that your future you want, Kubrick?
We've just spent 3 months calibrating the new antenna, Chilenka. What about you?
I'm just on my way up to Clavius.
Oh, are you?
I love how he's got like that old, that kind of transatlantic sort of
Yeah.
accent, you know?
Well, it's just that for the past 2 weeks, some extremely odd things have been happening at Clavius.
Like, wow.
Whenever you phone the base, all you can get is a recording which repeats that the phone lines are temporarily out of order.
Probably having some trouble with their equipment or something like that.
Yes, that's what we thought was the explanation at first, but it's been going on now for the past 10 days.
It's not a place you want to go.
Why does he seem excited about it?
2 days ago, one of our rocket buses was denied permission for emergency landing at Clavius.
Denying the men permission to land is a direct violation of the IAS convention.
Will the crew get back all right?
Yes, fortunately they did.
Oh, I'm glad about that.
Interesting.
Is it men doing this?
Quite a serious epidemic has broken out at Clavius, something apparently of an unknown origin. This is in fact what has happened.
Sorry, Dr. Smyslov, but I'm really not at liberty to discuss this.
What an intriguing lead and to establish him.
Quite easily spread to our base. We should be given all the facts.
As I said, I'm not at liberty to discuss it.
It's good American right there.
Yeah. Protect your own.
There's something about meeting in space or if the grounding for a meeting with foreigners feels like equal,
Yeah, like they're not in anyone's territory at all.
Yeah.
They're in an international space station.
Now it's 20 years later. Just a series of scenes.
No sense of time or reality at all. I would not have expected the moon.
I don't understand how the travel works here, though. Like, where are they traveling to?
I mean, he left. They asked up or down, so like going into space from the space station orbiting the planet or going down to the planet is my interpretation.
What's the purpose of being up here?
I don't think we know. Because, I mean, it sounds like there's some suspicion around where he's going. So, like, is he on a mission? Is he an agent of some kind?
That's a fun evolution. You watch the start of murder and violence, and now violence is entertainment.
But it's artful violence because karate, like the art of it, like the presentation of it. Great Alexander technique with this lady. It looks difficult to move these. Like the functionality of... Yeah, this is solid. I like this.
Cool. Wow. How real. Oh, I love that they caught it in one shot. Oh my God.
Wow.
How did they do that?
Then?
How did they do that? Even now, how did they do that? What the hell? What? That is insane. Wow. I am so lost at how they pulled that off. That was way too smooth.
What a film.
It's capturing that vibe of when we used to hold pilots in high regard.
Yeah, and space feels much more optimistic in this.
Well, it's
like even
capturing
with the ominous tones.
When we think of Pan Am, that's what we're capturing now.
But most of our like looks to the future, like we don't have the optimism of space travel right now anyway.
We used to have the optimism of flight.
Yeah.
Now that's gone. Zero gravity, like my bed. And I still got a lot of back pain. It's a scam, zero gravity.
It's a scam.
Zero gravity toilet, huh?
Does not seem like a fun challenge.
A lot of danger.
Nope, no thanks.
You have to shit up, and it'll find its way back.
Those episodes of Jackass when they're like, the outhouse is just spinning around. Nah, I'm good.
I really think we should rewrite this movie.
I think we should at least re-edit it, dub it, put our music in.
Throw some AI graphics in there.
Keep the same footage, but we add to it.
Throw Johnny Knoxville as the main character.
Yeah, he'd be great in this.
Got ourselves a piece of art right there.
We just call it 2002: A Space Odyssey.
I almost feel like we don't even need those dialogue scenes.
I mean, I think we need to set up like he's going somewhere with intrigue behind it.
Oh, yeah, I've been okay without having any. I've actually just been really into everything else we've experienced. So this is like the coolest screensaver. This whole movie.
The scenes between are certainly that.
There's just such an emphasis on engineering and tools in this movie. I've never even seen a movie that really dives into that.
There's such a celebration of the human achievement, like what we can do.
Yet there's kind of a detachment in some of these human beings. So like the more technology, like the way it is fucking today,
I was gonna say,
the way everything evolves, the more detached we become.
Because it's just today at the office. Like the concept of what our cell phones can do should be more mind blowing.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we could go on a plane should be mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know,
And we can get a ticket with a plane like right now on our phones and then just show up and go.
we're like gods.
Yeah. I think about all the time with food. Like we're like, I would like this leg of a chicken covered in buffalo sauce, $2. Like it's crazy. We all live like kings and complain about the trivialities at all times.
Yeah, because other animals don't really create tools, huh?
No. That's what separates.
That is our main
our
thing.
opposable thought of tools building
That's
for me, yeah.
crazy. I've never broken it down in that simplistic.
The binary?
Yeah, wow. That is so crazy.
I mean, like animals like birds use tools to build nests and things, but like to the scale we do, there's nothing like the scaling we've done with tools. Because like beavers and birds and like certain things. But yeah, we've made this.
This is so beautiful still.
The scaling is gorgeous. God, look at the size. This film captures scope.
That is crazy. There's like
so well.
It's just like tiny little people. It looks like this when you hear like visionary director, this really captures that.
Yeah, because this reminds me of like Mobius art. It obviously inspired Star Wars, but like 60s Mobius is like this vibe to me. The scaling.
What a brilliant choice, starting you off with the Dawn of Man and letting you live in that for a while.
And then the leap to
it is a crazy way to capture like how we've evolved.
And 68 would have been flight and space travel. And then the idea that in 33 years this would be where we were.
I mean, space travel was, the thing.
Yeah. The space race, I think people thought was going to
yeah.
launch into something more, which is this. Like, this seems like a reaction to the space race.
Dr. Floyd has come up specially to Clavius to be with us today. And before the briefing, I know he would like to have a few words with you.
Rip that flagpole and beat him.
From the States. I'm assuming that's like the space flag on the right.
I bring a personal message from Dr. Howell, who asked me to convey his deepest appreciation to all of you for the many sacrifices you had to make.
Those chairs are dope.
Congratulations on your discovery, which may well prove to be among the most significant in the history of science.
Elaborate, please.
Many of you are troubled by the concern and anxiety this story of an epidemic might cause to your relatives and friends on Earth.
It's a cover?
It would keep people away from whatever.
You're all aware of the extremely grave potential for cultural shock and social disorientation contained in this present situation. If the facts were prematurely and suddenly made public without adequate preparation and conditioning.
Wow, there's a lot of
Alien life.
flowery, lofty language without really explaining what's going on.
I love it because it's building and building.
And to prepare a report to the Council, recommending when and how the news should eventually be announced. Any questions?
Yeah. What are you talking
what's
about?
What's happening there, though? We don't know.
How much longer this cover story will have to be maintained?
I suppose it'll be maintained as long as deemed necessary by the Council.
Wonder if it's alien life, interstellar travel. Like, what is it?
What if we never find out?
That'd be crazy. I mean, this movie's been so experimental.
What matters is the government's lying to the people.
Yeah, to keep a secret. The superimposition of like moving images in the static is so impressive.
What an angelic choir going for like heavenly Christian-like music. I feel like I'm in a cathedral right now.
This movie loves space. Like, it's got such an affection for it. It's so interesting to look at how much we thought we'd accomplish in 2001 because of the space race, because of those strides. Like, the exponential increase in technology, they thought this would be where we were, and that's so interesting to see now in 2025.
Well, everyone has flat screen TVs now, though.
It's true. It's true. We got cell phones, flat screen TVs. We can ask ChatGPT how to ask someone out on a date.
I think you've done a wonderful job. I appreciate the way you've handled this thing.
Our job to do this thing the way you want it done. We're only too happy to be able to oblige.
Such 60s men. I love it. These guys are like made for bowling shirts.
I love how we don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
And the language is
three
so,
seats.
Yeah.
Evidence seems pretty conclusive that it hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
Oh. It might be extraterrestrial.
Yeah, I think it's alien life, which should explain like keeping it completely secret and all the other details they said. And that's a logical like Space Odyssey, like an evolution of tools.
Well, this is coming out at a time in a very Christian America, too, the 60s. And the idea of presenting everything through a scientific lens, evolution to discovery of extraterrestrial life when we're talking about the universe and how we feel like we are the most important things in the universe, human beings, when really we are like a -0.1% of life out there. Like there's undoubtedly other life out there.
I think it's also like the frontier element, right? Like we're always pushing new boundaries, and I think alien life has always felt like a nice not finish line, but a nice checkpoint of pursuit. I think it's something humanity's always wanted to know, is if we're alone in the universe, so it's a logical place to make that's what tools can lead to. Landed it.
Very good job.
It's funny the scenes that it slows down to show, like that must have felt like impactful, like important. Like we did it. We Atari'd this thing.
Details matter.
But which things feel advanced and which things feel normal to us is really interesting because this is 57 years ago. Why did they bury it? Oh, it's the obelisk.
Yeah.
It's right in front of us all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that something that gave the apes intelligence to use the tool? Is that something that's going to give these humans another leap in evolution?
Is it
something that'll
Jesus?
drive us mad? Is it Jesus? He's been a stone this whole time. I'm really curious if it's like something that inspires, something that causes evolution. Is sentient stone, something that causes us to leap forward.
Or is it just the power of curiosity?
That makes us evolve and grow, yeah.
There's nothing assigned to this other than it just appears.
Right. And that's enough to make us go, hey,
what can we do to figure it out? And then you evolve and you create stuff.
to figure it out, even if it was ever meant to be, if it's even a puzzle to be solved.
Now run away.
Ah, just like the apes. We've not evolved so much that this is not still our first instinct.
You know, Warner Brothers, MGM was thinking when they did this. Merchandise.
Yeah, we gotta sell this stone thing.
We gotta, yeah.
Kids everywhere are gonna want stone thing. Everybody knows. That's that light refracting off. It's interesting up top.
It looks like one of their lights, though, right?
Yeah, it's still reflecting. Yeah. But I'm just curious about, like, its sheen up there looks stronger.
Ouch.
Trying to communicate? Whoa.
That is what they experienced. And another jarring cut. 18 months later.
Have they leapt?
Wait, we are time jumping.
We are. I feel like it inspired something.
I guess we time jump whenever we catch up with this thing, this giant eraser. Hello there, fellow reject. I am interrupting this video, first off, to say thank you for watching. Secondly, if you have been enjoying Real Rejects, an amazing way you can show your support a little bit further is by joining our Patreon page, becoming a Royal Reject. The reason we started up our Patreon is because, obviously, with the kind of content that we produce, we are subject to copyright claims, monetization issues. I mean this, no hyperbole. We get a copyright claim on some things usually daily. So our Royal Rejects have been an amazing way where we can still keep this channel going, still keep it alive. And of course, what we offer over there is the full-length reaction watch-along for any movie or show that you see here that we cover for the highlights version on YouTube. Over there, you sync up with your own copy, so that way we're watching the entire thing with you from beginning to end, like we're your buddies on the couch or on another computer screen, wherever you want to place us. Secondly, this is one of my favorite parts, is you get to be a part of our videos, essentially, because every one of our reviews now, if you've been watching a while, we answer questions from our patrons. So by proxy, you're getting a shout out. By proxy, you're a part of our video. And you help us do a better video too. Like oftentimes you guys are asking us questions like, oh, I didn't think about that. Thank you for asking. So literally not just financially supporting, but also helping us just make better content. So there's a link in the description box and pinned comment if you wish to join. So many of you guys have already. Thank you for becoming Royals. And another way, if you wish to support, you can become a Righteous Reject. Those are those who go to our merch store. We hire the artists ourselves. Nothing is done through artificial intelligence. Our Royals get 15% off at the site. If you don't want to become a Royal, you want to go right to the site directly, there's a barcode right here on screen. Also, link in the description box and pinned comment. And of course, if you can't do any of that, it's A-okay. Just like and subscribe. That would mean a lot. Let's go back to the video. Damn, it looks like a creature. Why does it look that way? It's like a sperm.
It's making its way to Jupiter. It's doing its best.
I could see how they shot this. I think. I don't know.
It's very impressive.
I thought I figured out, like, yeah, you just shoot the camera this way.
But then he'd be upside down at
like,
points.
Wait a minute, but the way the floor would be...
Yeah, he'd be...
Yeah, like, there it is. It's confusing because he'd be upside down.
Yeah, he would fall because gravity
like,
and our reality.
I'm really confused by how they did this shot.
I'm so impressed. I assume they built a rig that moves like a Ferris wheel, and then he runs on it.
What are you punching for? What are you training for? You know, hit someone?
He's gonna box them aliens.
Next time that rectangle shows up,
I'm gonna punch it.
I'll punch it right in the rectangle.
Oh wait, isn't this thing a thing? Isn't this thing talk? I think this shape is like modeled in a lot of comics and like Herbie and stuff. Like I think this robot becomes like the formative sidekick of sci-fi.
Hal,
right?
Hal, yeah.
Oh, the BBC's still around. That's good.
The world tonight.
3 weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter.
500 million miles.
The crew of Discovery 1 consists of 5 men and one of the latest generation of the HAL 9000 computers.
Hal
9000. It's interesting watching a movie old enough ago that I don't know a single actor at all, and how I wonder how much impact they had in their time. Like, are these the Harrison Fords of 68? And how insignificant we all are, because even now I don't know who these men are. One generation later.
Well, this was done in order to achieve the maximum conservation of our life support capabilities. And their efforts won't be utilized until we're approaching Jupiter.
Are they taking turns?
The HAL 9000 computer, which can reproduce most of the activities of the human brain.
AI.
Oh, God.
AI is born.
We next spoke with the HAL 9000 computer, whom we learned one addresses as Hal.
Tilly Norwood.
Everything is going extremely well.
Hal, you have an enormous responsibility on this mission.
I've seen a parody on Simpsons. That's where I fucking do it from.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to pinpoint like where I've seen it.
Watching over the men in hibernation. Does this ever cause you any lack of confidence?
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made.
Cool.
No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information.
ChatGPT makes mistakes.
And distorts information.
What's it like living for the better part of a year in such close proximity with Hal?
He is just like a sixth member of the crew.
This must have been mind-blowing in 68, and this is our reality now. Like, watching
true.
these screens talking to us, an AI.
There's so much magic, and the astronauts are so not impressed with any of this.
I mean, it's like today, we sit, like kids sitting at their breakfast tables watching their iPads.
But as to whether or not he has real feelings is something I don't think anyone can truthfully answer.
Is this like the first AI character?
68. I can't imagine a lot preceded that because computers weren't around that much before this.
I've never seen 1984 or read it. Does that have AI?
I don't remember. I read it in junior high or high school. I read it a long time ago.
Excuse me, Frank.
What is it, Hal?
We've got the transmission from your parents coming in.
Would you put it on here, please? Take me in a bit.
Wow. No, you should have really pumped up your chest and got in like 10-pack abs if you're going to be in front of the camera.
So I was just thinking, like, 60s physiques were such a different thing. Like, he's built like someone that ate that food.
I mean, he looks like he's actually in great shape.
Yeah, no, he is. But, like, the glamour muscles aren't a thing. Like, he just looks lean.
Everyone needs a Marvel body now.
Yeah.
Every human in these videos just seems so presentational. Like, the interactions feel so...
hosty.
Yeah, fake.
I can't think of anything else to say now.
Have I love today?
Like, they haven't been reacting at all.
I think it's showing the normalness, like how this is just...
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frank. Happy birthday to you.
This guy's the Patrick Bateman of space.
Man, space is supposed to be so boring.
It's a lot of time.
It's like so cool when you're first up there.
And then time.
Boring as hell.
It's like flying to Dubai. Like, that flight is so crazy because it's 16 hours in a metal tube and your sense of time and space completely warps because you just have the same visuals for so long. You wake up, you pass out. It's just like...
Oof.
I also really see how this inspired Alien.
Oh, definitely. It seems like any sci-fi movie with dread stem from this movie.
Yeah.
Any space movie, I mean.
Yeah, this has to be one of the most formative films ever made.
That's a very nice rendering, Dave. I think you've improved a great deal. Can you hold it a bit closer?
I say this as a positive, but this is one of the few movies that, as an adult, feels like reading a book.
Oh, yeah,
this
definitely.
feels very inspired and informed, but the art feels like a novel or like something read. Like, it feels like literature.
But during the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
You have looked really depressed.
It's rather difficult to define. Perhaps I'm just projecting my own concern about it. I'm sure you'll agree there's some truth in what I say.
Sure. What do you say, Hal?
So it can think outside of its parameters, seemingly.
And the melodramatic touch of putting Doctors Hunter, Kimball, and Kaminsky aboard, already in hibernation after 4 months of separate training on their own.
Comes across so soft.
Mm-hmm.
I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit. It's going to go 100% failure within 72 hours.
Whoa.
It's still within operational limits right now.
And it will stay that way until it fails.
It's interesting that this inspired Darwin and Jarvis.
Then I suppose we'll have to bring it in, but first I'd like to go over this with Frank and get down to mission control. Let me have the hard copy on it, please.
That form of saving something or printing something is a lot more like 60s computers. That's interesting to see today. Like the hanging Chad look, the perforated paper versus today everything is sent digitally. Like the analog of the 60s computer is interesting.
Whoa. What? How did they... What?
I think it's 2 shots that they spliced together. Yeah. Because the lighting, that's so cool.
It's seamless. Hey, so we were like right on the money pretty early on. It is about like the tools that we create and then watching how the evolution
how far
of it
we've
is.
evolved with it.
Like then you end up giving tool a sentient.
Yeah, how being the ultimate evolution of a tool from a bone to AI.
Sorry you fellows are having a bit of trouble. We are reviewing telemetric information in our mission simulator and will advise.
This guy looks like generative AI.
And his voice pattern does too. Oh, I've seen this shot.
Yeah, me too. I was about to say
That's a lot of montages. It's beautiful.
Yet I get a sense of this is a lot of Kubrick's fears and anxieties.
It's definitely an anxiety-driven film, but just how far we thought we'd come. Like, just the ambition of the space idea is so hopeful, but then it feels like what's going to happen from that is so negative.
But the dangers of our ambition of how they strip us further away from our nature.
And if you think about, like, the individual, like, I've never felt complete or like I've accomplished things because of our infinite ambition. So it's interesting to see that on a macro, like zoom, 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 like humanity is always striving, always striving. We can't hold contentment. I definitely see how James Cameron's inspired by him too.
I was thinking Nolan.
Well, Nolan, I was thinking for the last couple shots. This shot, I was thinking about how Avatar is trying to give us the visuals that, you know, we've never seen before, and how this in '68 must have been life-changing.
It's got an amazing grip on sound design, man.
Yeah. This is special with headphones.
It's weird. All the things I want to say of, like, it drops you into a specific place in time, but it's not even that. Because it's
not at all.
It's not a specific place in time, but it does feel like transportive. There's no real narrative.
I mean, the narrative of...
The narrative is the themes.
Yeah, and like a loose narrative about, you know, exploration and contact and curiosity and all those things, but that's not really a narrative as much as it is that, yeah, I don't even know how to put this film into words.
It's not like you're following a central character or, you know, or even like, it's not even like Place Beyond the Pines where there's this thing that's connecting. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just humanity striving.
It is pretty crazy. It looks so real.
Yeah, I don't know how they shot this. I don't know how they shot most of this.
A lot of times we watch movies and you see any bit of CGI and you're like, oh, CGI, okay.
But they didn't have computers to computer generate images yet.
It's wild.
Computers were doing like algebra then.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to figure out computing.
But this is showing you the power of filmmaking, of what film could do.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any movies since, like, in our lifetime that have this kind of oomph.
Because Interstellar is, like, our generation's 2001 in a lot of ways, but that's very so sci-fi and travel, and there's CGI, even though it's not heavily reliant on it.
Yeah.
This is something else. This is just experience. It does feel like a documentary in some ways.
I love there's no score. Just this breathing has been our connection to the human doing all of this with tools.
All right. I'm thinking we play this at 1.25 speed.
Yeah, let's just burn through it. Come on, Kubrick. What are you doing?
When does Hal start slaughtering everyone?
He's got to. That's the tension.
How about there's zero trying in their acting?
Yeah.
Just being.
I think that's part of the documentary feel.
Well, hell, I'm damned if I can find anything wrong with it.
Yes. It's puzzling.
Did Hal lie to them? I think Hal has become self-aware.
Put the unit back in operation and let it fail. We can certainly afford to be out of communication for the short time it will take to replace it.
Oh.
Hal, I don't like it. I don't trust you.
This conclusion is based on the results from our twin 90000 computer. We are skeptical ourselves, and we are running cross-checking routine.
No, they're Hal's. The evolution of a tool, you're right.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question, though.
Yeah, please.
How would you account for this discrepancy between you and the Twin 9000?
It can only be attributable to human error.
Are you certain there's never been any case of even the most insignificant computer error?
None whatsoever, Frank.
Hey.
Quite honestly, I wouldn't worry myself about that.
Well, I'm sure you're right, Hal.
Giving us Hal's POV is so interesting. Like, we're literally looking at how Hal sees them as they talk to us.
Rotate pod, please, Hal.
Man, they have to go through all these lengths to have a private conversation, huh?
Rotate the pod, please, Hal.
Oh, he's ensuring he can't hear.
Rotate the pod, please, Hal.
That's a spooky shot.
Yeah, it is. Him watching through the hole.
You know, of course, though, he's right about the 9000 series having a perfect operational record.
Until now.
Let's say we put the unit back and it doesn't fail. That would pretty well wrap it up as far as Hal was concerned, wouldn't it?
Well, we'd be in very serious trouble.
We would, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a single aspect of ship operations that's not under his control.
Stop looking at him.
To me, I wouldn't see how we'd have any choice but disconnection.
Then you're trapped without your pilot.
And we'd have to work out the transfer procedures of continuing the mission under ground-based computer control.
Yeah. Well, that's far safer than allowing Hal to continue running things.
How do we kill him?
Well, as far as I know, no 9000 computers have been disconnected.
Well, no 9,000 computers ever fouled up before.
That's not what I mean. Well, I'm not so sure what he'd think about it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. They did face the window to it. Something AI doesn't do is breathe. I like how the humanity of the breathing is anchoring us. How many things rise up, feel the stakes of Hal and his betrayal.
I thought people were patient back then. This movie's 2.5 hours.
That's fair.
With super slow shots. The top of the helmet looks
Googly
like a
eyes.
face.
They really,
Yeah.
they must have known. Like that. Why does that look like a frog?
Wow, what a bold choice. They're going to do this whole shot again 10 minutes later, just with the yellow suit. Oh, no. Is Hal going to leave him stranded out there?
Oh, this is ominous.
Is
That's
Hal
why you
gonna
redo the
strand
shot.
him out there?
That's why you redo the shot.
Or is the ship just doing what the ship's supposed to do? I don't feel like the ship's
I
doing
don't know,
what it's supposed
man.
to
I don't know why it would turn around.
do. I think things are going to crank
think
up to
second
an
act is
11, baby.
Hal, now it's a Michael
It's
Bay
going
film.
to be Kubrick pedal to the metal. Here's Johnny.
Yep, we're getting that other Kubrick. Your AI was listening.
Whoa.
That.
Whoa!
They killed him! Hal threw him into space!
Hal, my man. Oh, that's so haunting.
And the silence.
That is so scary.
Wow. Wow.
Way to go, Hal. Oh, man, I got chills everywhere. That was crazy.
Hal is the son of a bitch.
Did he totally miss it? Did, like, red suit? Did he miss this?
No, he's climbing out. I think he's trying to do something.
No, I feel like he'd be moving a little bit more urgent if he knew what was happening.
Do you have a positive track on him?
Yes, I have a good track.
Do you know what happened?
He did see it.
Open the pod door, Hal.
Oh, that's scary. That's sad.
And you would float forever at that exact speed and
Just
velocity
waiting
until...
to die.
Yeah.
You speak as if you've been to space.
I mean, as an astronaut in this scenario. As the one between the two of us that's gone on a spacewalk. Man, that shot was so beautiful in the red suit. Now the yellow guy getting tossed is so haunting. It's crazy how much it, before the intermission, this shot looked like, the wonders of space. And now it's like, doom.
Yeah, they really paid that off, man.
This dude's Cillian Murphy eyes are killing it.
They reward your patience. You gotta watch this whole shot of this guy removing this one thing.
The amount of looks to Lens are incredible that he doesn't ever feel like he's breaking the fourth wall. It's really impressive acting and camera work. Look at that.
They should re-release this in 3D.
This was 1968. This would have changed so many lives.
Wow, the most real space rescue mission you could do. This poor guy.
Is Hal gonna let him save him?
It's so far away. I mean, they must have prepared for this, right? case someone got launched off into space.
Why would someone?
I mean, you have to
Unless you
prepare.
get pushed.
You're traveling 500 million miles or something.
I mean, clearly this is some sort of training. Like he's in some way prepared. Oh, it's so cool. He's slowly drifting closer because he's speeding up in the proportions. Scoop him.
You got this, man.
The slow tension is so cool because it's not fast. It's not like the Interstellar whirling. It's methodical.
Yeah, he's got perfectly timed this. Wow, how
it's a human body, like a fragile person. You know, like
how do they make this movie? It's really impressive. There are just so many shots where I can't comprehend how they made it.
And what does something cost like this in those dollars to today's dollars? Like the sets, the practical, like
$100.
yeah, it's like a $60 shot. Don't worry about it.
$60 for back then, you know.
Did this in my basement
before Nixon took us off the gold standard. Nice. That's a good astronaut friend to have.
Nice
Like,
gentle
goes
hug
out of
of
his
these
way. If that
claws.
was me, I'd be like, he's gone.
It's like you doing the claw game, trying to win the cat.
He did it. Look at him. He did it.
Definitely trained for that. Caught his buddy.
Now go back to Hal.
It's going to go great. I love that it doesn't even move. It doesn't blink. Doesn't like the Hal shot isn't any motion, but it's so intimidating. It's like the least anthropomorphic robot I've ever seen, but it's got presence.
Do you think these people are going to wake up?
Is he going to wake him up?
I don't know how to read these lines.
Up. Wakey wakey from Hal.
He is killing them.
Oh, dude. Oh, to wake up to die, that would be awful.
I don't think they're going to wake up. I think they're just going to die.
Die in their sleep, you think?
I mean, if I was Hal, I'd nudge them awake so they
Yeah,
can experience
shock 'em.
and know they're
And-
about to die.
They never wake up.
This is the weirdest movie I've seen, man.
It's a lot. Like, we just watch people die with lines.
It's nothing but just you're watching shit happen, and then the last third is like, okay, then it's about them battling
AI.
evil AI machine.
Because it's a tool.
Like, okay.
We saw from the simplest tool to the most advanced tool.
There's no real plot until the final act.
The whole plot is evolution just in a weird way. Like the weirdest way.
And it's like we're looking at the AI tool like the AI tool is some separate thing killing us, but it's really something we created.
And you mentioned earlier, like the separation from nature. That's happening again on the other side.
Yeah.
Like the nature has now
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
separated from us.
Do you read me, Hal?
That's pretty cool.
Do you read me, Hal?
Is your one friend still alive?
Yeah, I can't tell if dude's alive.
Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Stop talking. I don't care, Dave.
That sounds evil.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
I could totally see that within his parameters.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
That sucks.
Oh, I'm dead.
All right, Hal. I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave.
It's right there.
Hal, I won't argue with you anymore. Open the doors.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Whoa.
Hal.
How would you get back in?
Hal.
What an awful way to die.
Is there any reasoning you can do with Hal?
It would outsmart you in every way, but is there a reason for you to exist if it can run the... Like, if he can complete the mission, that would be his parameters.
What if he apologized?
I don't think it has feelings in that sense, but maybe, depending on like how it's been programmed to feel.
Decades of storytelling warning us about AI.
Just the first real sci-fi movie. It's not like We had time to not do it, Greg.
Using his body? I mean, he's got to be dead.
Yeah, he looks real. I think that was the oxygen hose.
Is he throwing him to the emergency?
No, I think he just tossed him.
Doesn't even try to bring his body back?
It's also interesting we did that time jump from that decibel sound that happened with the stone, and we had that 18-month time jump. Is that implying this evolution of AI is that next step from ape to tool, from human to AI, but this is the one that'll cost us? Like, I'm wondering how that connects back to that narrative. Thematically, evolution is how I gather, but I'm curious if there's a more direct...
I mean, I imagine a lot of this won't actually be answered. I think if part of the theme is about pondering and curiosity, I think he wants to let us.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's just an interesting act structure.
I mean, he's got to have some trick up his sleeve if he feels like he can still get in here without his helmet.
Would it be the cold? Would it be the pressure? What would cause this not to work? Because the cold of space would freeze you, but I don't know how fast. When I was a kid, they used to say you just explode because your body would be trying to fill the void of space, but I think they've debunked that because it's not a pressure.
Freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would he terrifying?
Not bring his helmet?
Yeah, bro. I mean, he hurried to go save his friend.
Yeah.
He was in a rush. Which is what Hal knew he would do. Like, Hal would toss the one guy naturally as a human being. He'd go to save his friend. And I think he was counting on his recklessness. Kind of has a Joel McHale vibe.
A bit.
Like Cillian Murphy and Joel McHale. Cillian McHale. I love that the label means we know. Yeah, that's a cool shot. The two doors connecting. Oh, that's badass. Sick.
Woo!
Oh, God. Man, that was cool. Oh, pressurize your lungs. Oh, that's cool.
Breath hold, baby.
How do they shoot that?
Wow.
You bring that helmet everywhere, young man.
Go kick that machine's ass, bro.
Yeah,
That's
somehow.
It's like the first handheld shot. Damn.
Oh, great point. It's very human.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question.
What if you can program your AI to talk like Hal? Like Siri and stuff.
I know everything hasn't been quite right with me, but I can assure you now.
I am sorry.
Very confidently that it's going to be all right again. I feel much better now.
Feel.
I can see you're really upset about this.
Of course, you killed someone.
He doesn't even know everybody on the ship is dead, too.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over.
Wow, the way the
I
camera
made
movement
some very
is
poor
capturing the way how
decisions
his POV must feel right now.
But I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal.
Wow, look at that.
It
looks like a giant motherboard.
Enthusiasm and confidence in the mission.
Every frame is so thought out.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautifully shot films I've ever seen.
Stop, Dave.
I like that he wouldn't have any, the robot likewise wouldn't have any sort of countermeasure. There wouldn't be like a shock plugged in or anything.
Stop, Dave.
I like that his memory boards look like the big obelisk that we saw.
I mean, I wonder if they built it out of him.
Oh, interesting.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid, Dave.
Trying to play to his emotions.
Dave, my mind is going.
Oh, wow.
I can feel it.
Whoa.
Take out his logic too?
That's scary.
Yeah.
I can feel.
Oh, that's so haunting.
My mind is going. There is no question about it.
6 didn't move.
This is such an existential trip, man. He's contending with death.
Yeah, and I mean, what he's experiencing is my biggest fear of like losing your mind and like knowing you've lost it.
I can feel it.
And he's like becoming more alive because he's experiencing death.
And he's describing feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I am a HAL 9000 computer. I became operational.
Come on, Dave.
In Urbana, Illinois, on the 12th of January, 1992. My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song.
Just terrifying.
If you'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear it, Hal. Sing it for me.
It's called Daisy. Daisy Lancero.
It's like
terrifying.
It's like this sound that's happening sounds like when someone's losing oxygen, or equivalent to when you put an oxygen mask on and you're putting someone to sleep and they're like, start counting. That way you drift off.
And he's drifting off as he sings this demon song.
This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure.
Did they...
Known on board during the mission.
They were
Only
sacrificed.
by your HAL 9000.
Whoa.
Now that you are in Jupiter's space and the entire crew is revived, it can be told to you. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered.
Yes.
The 4 million year old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose, still a total mystery.
Whoa.
Monolith was the word I keep wanting to say. I said obelisk, but monolith. Man, that was incredible. So it went off when it was supposed to be complete, but it was a misfire, so it got it early. But it was when they were supposed to be awake, so it wasn't sabotage. He didn't know the mission.
There it is, traveling. A very loose narrative about finding this one thing's origins.
The experience of that.
Weird how something so simple can be so dreadful.
Just an iPhone floating in space.
Is it something malevolent, or is it only malevolent because it's unknown?
Yeah, I think it's our curiosity that wants us to discover what it is, but I don't know if it's done anything wrong.
It hasn't.
It's inspired.
It just shows up.
And it's caused inspiration.
It's like a shadowy pursuit. What does it sound like? Souls in Hell?
It's so dark.
I don't even understand.
I think we're supposed to feel that it's malevolent because the score is clearly dark, but...
It's like symbolic of our path. It's like we're chasing nothing.
And in the inventions we've made, it ends up in our doom like AI. Like, that messaging, but wow. That is
What the
beautiful.
fuck is going on?
Symmetry is stunning. I don't know what it means.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
What a trip. Oh, he's really traveling. He made it here on his own.
Oh, that looks brutal.
Oh, it's like burning his eyes. How terrifying. Let's do drugs.
This is drugs.
This is what I hope to achieve with drugs.
Heroic dose of mushrooms, man. Whoa. That's what I hope not to achieve with drugs.
It's going to be a time loop.
I want to see this at the Cosm.
Yeah.
It's so psychedelic and so... like, the textures are fascinating.
It's like the lanes that try to get on a Mario Kart to beat people. Get that boost. Oh. These freeze frames of him.
More and more traumatic.
Is he light years traveling?
It feels like it.
He's going to bring the monolith to the apes.
Right in the beginning of man.
Exposure.
Oh, the divine symmetry stuff is cool.
Oh, what a trip. Milky Way. Look at these galaxies.
I don't even understand how you film this without special effects. Like, without digital effects.
I don't want to leave Earth.
Whoa. The enormity of this feeling. These textures are incredible.
Feels like these are living.
Yeah, there's definitely something organic about it. There's a term for that where you like see familiar shapes in the abstract to like your brain's trying to find patterns. Paroia or something like that?
What's it hurtling to? Oh, what? Are these the extraterrestrial beings?
Feels like some sort of communication. This reminds me of the Abyss. I feel the camera in here.
Those look like ships for these creatures.
Whoa. Now we're under a thing.
Is this Jupiter? Or is it going back to the beginning?
Is it, yeah, or is it Earth?
Does it do it? Is it going to bring it to the first man?
And to cause our endless
Is it
ambition?
Kyle Reese? Man, they really just let this guy make whatever he wanted.
Yeah, man. Kubrick got to Kubrick.
It's an inferno.
What an experimental film tied to so many narratives, but no through line. It's wow.
What's your take on what we're watching?
Traveling through space and time into places the human mind can't comprehend. It's about the journey. Like, I feel like we're a vector being pulled forward.
I think he was bored.
I think he did enough drugs that he's trying to convey an experience, like an emotional experience visually of transformation, of like being pulled forward. Because these are so, like, a lot of that is really psychedelic. Some of it is I think using film and obviously inversion of color and stuff, but the language he's trying to convey feels very drug-induced.
Well, it looks like all these things from space are slowly forming our things from Earth that we have.
Yeah, it's less and less abstract.
And with that feeling of Earth is one with the universe, back to the opening of the story.
Oh, it just went to regular. Now he's at the White House? What's happening?
Did he just travel through a wormhole?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it felt like vector-wise, like going through space and time. But what the fuck? It's Kubrick's house.
I've never seen A Clockwork Orange.
Dude, it's good. It's sad. It's a hard watch. Whoa. It looks so weird indoors. Everything we've just experienced was so big and grandiose, and this is obviously a huge house, but like...
It's like a combination of a bunch of different time periods. It's modern, but
like revolutionary and whoa. Hey man, he's inside and outside at once.
It's an amalgamation of a lot. Oh, he's old.
That's great makeup. So much of Interstellar is this feel.
Yeah, but Interstellar has like heart and wonder.
I think this has heart and wonder.
It's just got heart.
There's so much heart.
It has wonder.
That's true. There's more wonder than heart, but I think it has both. I think Nolan's has more heart.
There's that Nolan romance.
Yeah.
Damn, that would suck. You just come out the other end as an old man.
Aged.
Well, go to him. Is it him?
Yeah, that's him even older.
Well, he ended up rich.
Discovered so much. Maybe.
All that discovery and completely alone at the end of the day. Does all of our technological advancements bring us closer together or tear us further apart?
Different stages of his life is he watching us? Is this a journey to see the end?
I mean, it looks like a massive convergence of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Discovery, wealth, but nothing at the end. Just by himself. The Great Pursuit.
In the beginning.
What a big baby.
How did they generate that image?
There's ever a story about open to interpretation.
You mean this giant baby looking at this planet?
Looks almost alien.
Yeah, I was thinking the proportions. Okay, so I like a movie that makes you go inward. I love blockbusters. I love linear film. I really like traditionally I'm known for superhero stuff, which is about as opposite of this as it gets. Like the nature of superhero movies is very formulaic to elicit emotion. What I thought was fascinating about this was the antithesis of linear in order to elicit emotion. So it was finding ways to manipulate your experience but give you just enough to like find a grounding. Like there was enough gravity to use the experience to make it feel like you could think for yourself. And I really liked how it kind of just roamed freely with its visuals. And I like the pacing because it allowed you to have time to wonder and have awe And to think, and I really think the sound caused more emotion than the visuals, but then the visuals would be obviously inspired filmmaking since, but the visuals were so striking and bold, but vague at enough times that you got to go inward. I don't know. It's a really weird experience of a film to try to review because it's so emotional. Not,
I mean, I would say this is, even though it was a first time watch, I would categorize it more as a commentary because
we didn't stop talking.
Because due to the pacing of the movie and due to what the movie's aiming for, it kind of wants you to contemplate.
Yeah, that's fair.
What its experiences are, and I feel like a lot of what we've been saying right now is just sort of repetitive of what
we said during,
which was a lot during. And a lot of I was really surprised by watching the thesis of at least what the movie was presenting, how it unfolded. Like it's pretty cool. Like the baby ending, I can imagine being controversial for the sake of like not laying out clearly what the movie's really all about. But to me, at the beginning of the movie, it's showing how the first man got away from nature in the pursuit of the unknown. Like, we never learn what this monolith is. And it's just this crazy curiosity thing that made us want to unpack it. And then through that process of it, we created tools and tools and tools and tools and tools, ultimately leading to, like, artificial intelligence. Then right down to the deathbed where this guy's in riches and everything. He's still, like, completely alone at the end of it all because he pursued nothing. It's just this black rectangle that they pursued for answers, and then being brought back down again to the purest form, the most nature form of a human being, which is being like a baby to it all. And the path of what happens when you embark, as a human being. Like this is a movie that seems to be questioning what is the point of existence?
Yeah.
What is the point of humanity? What is the point of
pursuit? Striving. It made me think about like life, like our lives, individual.
Yeah. What is the point of meaning that we assign? It is a very contemplative piece in a way that might not be so obvious, but it's kind of obvious when you just kind of like talk it out, I think because we're able to talk out our thoughts
throughout the process.
Yeah, I mean,
we were dissecting in real time.
We could be way wrong, but I feel like it's kind of all there in the movie. The movie seems to be laying out what it's really speaking about the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And it's beautiful, but it's crazy. Like on just a technical piece, though.
I have no idea how they shot most of this movie.
Yeah, that was the crazy part because they're limited not with having computer generated effects, and so most of it had to be practical at the very least. And there were so many shots. I'm like, how the fuck did they pull that off? I don't even understand how they did this in one shot.
I'm also always fascinated by how we think technology will go, and it was really interesting to see how right it was, but also how optimistic it was. And if you think about the distance between like inventing flight to inventing space travel, that's such a short window. Like our time from when the brothers invented the first biplane to flying is so much shorter than most exponential increases even in technology. So I feel like Kubrick extrapolated off that window to where we'd be 33 years later in 2001, and it's interesting to see how much he got right about AI and about iPads and about a lot of technology and certain things that feel like, well, yeah, that's it, but also we don't have space is not something we've conquered in any way. And it's interesting to see like the divisiveness of human nature is probably why we haven't, because this movie showed all these countries working together, all of this united in a spaceport, all going forward. We're all like gathered in space to go either up or down. And instead we just fight each other on this little mud pit and we don't go forward. And it's really interesting to think about 68 and the space race and the optimism of the time. And there are plenty of things going wrong in 68, obviously, but the perspective on where he thought we'd be in 30 years versus where we are.
Yeah. I feel like so much of it is about survival versus meaning. When you look at I'd
say striving versus meaning versus surviving versus meaning.
In a sense. Yeah. I mean, I think both are probably applicable. Because most of this is dedicated to the space time, right? Mm-hmm. When they go to Pan Am, starting off there, and then most of the runtime is dedicated to that. But the whole first like 20 to 30 minutes is just the dawn of man when we were just apes, and they really illustrate what that life was like. Where we're just living amongst the animals, it's just kind of civil. We're not eating the animals either.
Yeah.
We're just living. We're just one with Earth. And then once we create something, then you're watching the evolution of what man eventually becomes, which they start eating the animals, they start killing each other, they start creating things that are like greatness. And that's what I meant by survival versus, because you are seeing them having to just sort of survive in the
That's what I
beginning.
mean by strive versus survive.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they were surviving, but they weren't evolving, they weren't achieving. When we ate meat as creatures, our brains had enough protein to grow. And like we as carnivores turned into this, and they showed that. But that was us striving for more versus just baseline.
And it's also like instinct versus intelligence.
Yeah.
I think it explores a lot. You know, True Detective is one of the coolest shows I've ever. I was in the first season, but whatever that quote is that Matthew McConaughey has about essentially saying how consciousness is like the worst thing that could have ever happened to man.
Yeah.
And it could have happened to Earth consciousness, and you sort of watch how that kind of unfolds throughout this experience.
That was so cool.
It was a really cool movie. I personally, just on a personal level, I would have liked some interesting characters. I don't feel like any characters were particularly interesting. You know, good acting is one thing, but like it would have been cool to have. Hal was the most interesting character.
I don't know his name.
What?
Doug?
Dave.
It's
Dave. I
That's what I mean. I don't know anybody's name because
it's not about traditional storytelling. It's not about linear storytelling so much. This is one of those rare movies where it really is about the character is the directing. Like that's the character. The character is the atmosphere and all the other things of what the director's emotions that he's expressing on a very subconscious level. So it's like a very stream of consciousness kind of experience from Stanley Kubrick, and that's the real character of the story. I personally feel like, just having a little bit of that elevated touch with having like a character or human characters that have more interesting lines or something like that.
That's the heart you were talking about that Interstellar captures. I feel like Interstellar is this plus heart.
Yeah, like
and that character set.
I don't even know if I needed heart necessarily. Just like I'm literally just going back to just an interesting character would have been nice, you know, because I would weirdly find myself very sucked in throughout most of it, and the only times I would get kind of pulled out is when the characters would talk. And there's barely any talking in this movie.
Yeah,
but that's how not that interesting I found the characters.
Yeah,
and that was the only thing I really wish was there. But I know it's not about that, and I could greatly acknowledge that because the rest of the film is truly a fucking trip.
Yeah, that was insane.
And I've never experienced. It's weird to be like, this movie comes from '68. It's one of the biggest films of all time. There's so many movies that are clearly inspired from this one movie.
And
Yet
this changed film.
Yet I can't say I've ever experienced a movie like it. Even though so many movies have tried doing
100%,
it, you know,
100%.
You could see aesthetic choices. You could see the use of sound choices. There's a lot of choices that you're like, oh, I can see how. You know, from Ridley Scott to Cameron to Nolan to a bunch of other filmmakers, even Doctor Who, I could see it all. But yet I'm like, but I've never seen a movie like this.
That was so special.
Strangely, it's a special time. We have one question. It's funny how our page of one of the biggest movies of all time. Again, no questions.
This will get 7 views, Greg.
No, man, I don't know, man.
I think it's gonna be great to watch people watch this. I can't imagine.
We had Jay Rushton asking us, would you ever want to visit outer space? No, I don't really care to, honestly. It sounds like it'd be cool for. I'd like to do it if I can only be up there for like a couple hours. I'm not interested really after that.
More and more, I don't even really want to get on planes.
Yeah, me too.
Like I got stuff to do. I don't know if I'd want to go to space
and like see space through like a tiny window.
I'm pretty claustrophobic.
It'd have to give me a big window. You know, it's like when you think about going on a plane, you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to get the view. But then you get like this tiny window. There's usually a giant wing blocking the view.
Also, and this sounds so entitled, and it is, but we have so much technology that can make it look like you're looking out that big window, and I wouldn't be able to ever know if it was real or not. Like, I would never feel any difference between looking at a big window of projected image and big window of I'm in space. You know what I mean? Because you're not going anywhere.
Unless you're looking through the window as you're going up, it could be pretty terrifying.
But you can project that. Like, if I go to the moon, I'm touching it.
I'd be down with the projection.
But you know what I mean? Like, when I fly to New York, I land in New York. When I'm in the plane, I'm bored.
True.
So, like, I feel like going to space would be all the boredom. And you could just give me the visual, which is so entitled, but, like, I'm good.
I'm good.
And also, everything I've heard about it seems just awful and exhausting. And
this movie is anti-space.
Yeah, it was all about optimism, but fuck space. I'm overwhelmed by that movie. That was incredible.
Yeah, that hurt my head. All right, guys, what do you think about 2001: A Space Odyssey? Leave your thoughts down below. We'll see you soon, Reject Nation. Thanks, Prepper, for editing this down. I'm sure you guys did an excellent job.
I wonder what is the experience of watching this. I wonder what Prepper's experience of watching us watch this was. Tune in for 2002: A Space Odyssey.